It's here. Pocket Health A to Z. Pocket Health A to Z is a handy little nutritional guide. When it comes to vitamins and minerals, Pocket Health makes it easy and simple for you by giving you the food sources and the nutritional benefits of those vitamins and minerals that we need for good health. Plus, Pocket Health provides added information that you will find beneficial. Don't wait. Pick up a copy of Pocket Health A to Z today and choose to feel your best.
Peace, family. I hope all is well. I hope your Sunday evening is going well. Well, it's Sunday night here in Atlanta. Do me a favor, hit the like button again. Please hit the like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. I want to thank all of you sincerely from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank all of you for the support over the years. It really means a lot. Listen, I think I posted my first YouTube video on this platform back in 2013 or 12, something like that. So we are about 11 years, 10 years strong, consistent. I'm not going anywhere. I will be here. We've seen other people come and go. I've been consistent. I am here for the long haul. I am not going anywhere, and you guys made that possible. Trust me, I have had my moments. But once again, you guys have supported me, and it means a lot. All the support means a lot for coming on the tours, buying the books, buying a documentary, which if you're watching this, okay, we just went live. There's 30 people watching. If you have not bought the documentary, In Search of Uhuru, again, if you have not bought the documentary In Search of Uhuru, please go to searchforuhuru.com. Again, please go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. Again, if you have not bought the documentary In Search of Uhuru, please go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. Everyone who is watching this, you should have a copy. Well, it's actually a stream, so you stream it on the site. But everyone who is watching this, there's no reason why you do not. There's no reason why you have not seen. I'm reading the comments. There's no reason why you have not bought the documentary and watched the documentary. Again, please go and support and buy the documentary. This is how I keep things going. I've never been got a fundraise type of person. I've always been I have products and services. You want to support, buy a product or a service. So go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. All right, everyone who watches this, you need to support and buy the documentary. All right, tours. We are rolling to Benin for the Voodoo Festival. Again, we are rolling to Benin for the Voodoo Festival. Voodoo, all the same. We are rolling January 3rd to the 12th. Again, January 3rd to the 12th, we are rolling to Benin for the Voodoo Festival. Please, if you're interested in going, go to Danfo. That's DANFO. Danfo, that's DANFO. Africa to learn more. Again, that is January 3rd through the 12th. January 3rd through the 12th. We are rolling to Benin for the Voodoo Festival. Come and have a great time. Please visit Danfo.Africa. All right, let's jump into tonight's topic, the coup in Niger. The coup in Niger and the role that the Wagner Group or Russia played in that coup. If you guys don't know, the Wagner Group, which is I guess they could be considered soldiers of fortune or mercenary group that's supported heavily by Russia. They've been in Africa, specifically the French-speaking African countries, boosting the military um, in helping out with the military in countries like Mali, Central African Republic. I want to say they're in Burkina Faso, and rumor is they're in Niger as well. If you don't know, the leader of the Wagner Group was in an airplane crash, a faulty airplane crash. Again, quotation marks. A couple of days ago, and he's deceased now. So I'm wondering now, how is that going to affect the operations that Wagner Group had in Africa? He was a huge supporter. Now, I don't know if he supported, I know he gave moral support to Niger as far as he supported the coup. Now, was he on the ground? Was the Wagner Group, are they on the ground currently supporting the junta? I hate using that term, junta. Somebody said Prigozhin's hanging out with Tupac in Cuba. Could be. Was it? Yeah? That, you make a great point. They would never put three leaders at the same time at the same time on the same airplane. Like in corporate America, like the CEO of a company and like the CFO or whatever, they're not supposed to fly on the same plane. I know when I worked for my former company, Cintas, I don't think they are allowed, like the C-suite. They're not like the president of the company, the CEO, CFO. They're not. I don't think they're supposed to fly on the same plane because if there's an unfortunate plane crash, like the whole C-suite is gone. So who's going to fill in as far as succession plan, as far as succeeding the whoever passes away if the unfortunate death of someone, the president or CEO or CFO of a company. So you're right, because the number one guy, Prigozhin, and then the number two guy of the Wagner Group, they were on the same plane and they both died. So now who's going to take over? So yeah, that doesn't add up, but it was confirmed that he passed away. Now, was this because I don't know if you guys know, about a couple months back, Prigozhin, who was upset with the leadership of Russia, of the armed forces and the military, in the direction they were going in regards to the Ukraine war, had decided to invade and attempt a coup in Russia, and he was heading to Moscow. So supposedly, the president of Belarus got on the phone with Putin. It was like, he got on the phone with Putin, he got on the phone with Prigozhin. It was like, listen, guys, this is not a good look. Again, this is not a good look. If you turn those tanks around, all right, that are headed to Moscow, just turn around, let it go. You'll have immunity. You can come to Belarus and you'll be straight. Putin allegedly agreed, well, not allegedly, he agreed to it. And a buddy of mine was like, Dinus, listen, you're not going to attempt a coup in Russia, march to Moscow, get halfway there, and allegedly, or not allegedly, supposedly, you strike a deal with Putin, and Putin's just going to let it slide. He's going to pay for that. That's what my buddy said. I'm like, nah, man, it was a misunderstanding. Tempers are flaring. Putin's going to forgive the guy, which he did, man. He'll be all right. So it seems like everything was cool until last week, where Prigozhin dies in an airplane crash. And, they're saying it's a faulty engine or a wire. We all know that was a hit. if you ask me. Now, this is my opinion. I don't have any facts on it, but I think it was a hit. Putin was going to forget that. I mean, that's an embarrassment. You embarrass Putin and think you're going to get away with it. And just go back to business as usual. Doesn't work like that. And Putin obviously didn't forget. And I think they had something behind the unfortunate airplane crash which killed Prigozhin and a number 2 guy of the Wagner group, along with like 8 or 9 other passengers. But again, how does that affect the role that the Wagner group is playing in a lot of these countries that are under military rule now, or junta, as they call it, in Africa? Is the strategy going to change? Somebody said that is Russia that really pulls the strings when it comes to the Wagner group. True. You know, they use the Wagner group to do their bidding. So it's kind of like a proxy war. So that's interesting. So listen, I'm going to put the link in the chat room. If you want to call in and add the conversation, you can. Again, if you want to call in and add to the conversation, you can. We won't be here long. We'll be here probably like another 20, 30 minutes. Link is in the chat room. Do me a favor, hit the like button again. Please hit that like button. And let me play play this real quick. Here we go. Early evidence suggests bomb. Let me play this video from the Wall Street Journal. Fair use. Fair use. Fair use. Fair use. Don't flag me. Fair use.
What if you could hire an extra set of hands just to deal with editing your photos? And what if this is...
U.S. officials believe an explosion from a bomb or some sort of sabotage downed the private jet carrying Wagner Group chief Yevgeny Prigozhin on Wednesday, though they cautioned assessments were preliminary and incomplete. The Wall Street Journal had 3 aviation experts with combined decades of experience analyzing plane crashes review the footage. Though they said it's hard to be certain without access to physical evidence at the crash site, they too saw no signs that the plane was shot down, and said initial evidence suggests the crash was probably caused by an in-flight catastrophic failure, possibly due to a bomb or sabotage. Here's why. First, the plume of smoke around the plane seems to be the remnants of an internal explosion. A missile strike would create long tracks of smoke from the missile's approach. None are seen here. Additionally, the jet, an Embraer Legacy 600, has no history of in-flight structural or mechanical failure. The plane also appears mostly intact in its fall, with only one of the wings missing. A strike from a missile capable of reaching more than 20,000 feet would have broken the plane apart more. The white substance trailing the plane is another clue it was an internal explosion. It's not smoke, but rather the plane's fuel, spraying into the air from ruptured fuel lines. A missile would have likely ignited the leaking fuel, resulting in black smoke. The way the plane falls also points toward an internal explosion. It's fluttering to the ground without control, a possible indication that the explosion happened near the tail of the plane. The somewhat contained wreckage pattern further supports an internal explosion. In one place, we can see the main body of the plane, while in another area a mile away, we see the tail. A missile would have scattered shrapnel and debris more widely. The leaking fuel appears to have ignited when the plane's main body crashed. Parts of the wreckage are covered in small dents according to the experts. These are normal markings from impact and probably not missile shrapnel. The markings are caused by bolted sections tearing apart, and broken off pieces of the plane hitting other parts of the aircraft. All of this supports preliminary assessments from US intelligence, which say Prigozhin was killed in an assassination plot.
Realtor.com made apartment hunting so easy.
And to get an idea of what the Wagner Group is doing in Africa, let me pull this up. For people who don't know. Because as we know, here we go. Wagner was very active on the continent.
What do Mali, the Central African Republic, Burkina Faso, and Niger have in common? They all have some ties with the Wagner Group, which has helped increase Russia's influence in Africa. So what happens now that their leader Yevgeny Prigozhin is dead? It's an uncertain period, especially for thousands of Wagner operatives active in Mali and the Central African Republic. Prigozhin died days after he appeared in a video where he claimed to be in the Sahel fighting Islamist militants. Some commentators suggest that many mercenaries will go back to operating from the shadows, just like they did before the war in Ukraine. Both Mali and the CAR rely heavily on the Russian mercenaries for their security. Wagner fighters have been in the CAR since 2018, fighting rebels who are responsible for chronic instability. President Faustin Touadera, who invited them, has even been seen in public with Wagner mercenaries as part of his security detail. Over in Mali, the military leaders allowed 1,000 Wagner mercenaries to help the army fight IS and Al-Qaeda. Mali has grown close with Russia, ending a security deal with France, which had 5,000 troops in the region for nearly a decade. It's also asked the UN to withdraw more than 13,000 personnel from the country. If the Wagner Group also leaves these countries, it could increase instability there. The Wagner Group's business model is to offer its services in exchange for mineral wealth and strategic economic and military investments. And for developing countries like Mali and the CAR, this has meant giving the mercenaries lucrative deals. A senior Wagner commander was sanctioned by the US for using Mali to purchase weapons for Russia's war efforts in Ukraine. The Wagner Group has also been instrumental in spreading Russian influence in parts of Africa by discrediting the West. However, it's unlikely that this relationship will change. Until recently, the Kremlin denied links with the mercenaries. However, following Prigozhin's rebellion against Putin, Russian officials pledged to continue security arrangements with Mali and the CAR. This highlighted the importance of these two countries to Russia's foreign policy agenda in Africa. Who will lead Wagner Group operations now? It's a question many are asking, but at the moment, it's not clear who may take over the Wagner Group. It's likely to be a hand-picked leader, more obedient to the Kremlin. However, in Mali and the CAR, the mercenaries have their own commanders, which allowed them to operate almost independently while remaining loyal to Prigozhin. What we might see is a possible Wagner Group splintering, which could compromise the range of their operations.
Never snap to God.
So yeah, but everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. And I'm going to bring Abube on this week to discuss. There's a lot going on, just politics in general. There's a lot going on. You got Trump. You got this situation with the Wagner Group. You still got Russia, Ukraine. You got the new strain of COVID. You got BRICS. There's a lot going on, you guys. A lot going on. A lot going on with huge implications. So I'll get Abube on this week to break everything down. You know how Bube does. He's thorough. So very, 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 very thorough. So everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, down in Mirror Search for Huru. Peace.